Hello, beautiful souls. So, do things get better with age? Well, for me, 1,000% yes. Um, and I was thinking about why. And so I want to share a little story with you about why I started thinking about this at all and the conclusions that I've come to in the moment. So, how this started was I was sitting around with a group of people, uh, and they were all 20 somethings except for maybe five of us. And when the 45-year-old woman, Westerner, realized that she was going to be asked to say her age, she was like, "But after 40, we don't have to say our age, do we?" And I was like, "No, of course not. Who cares? I mean, don't say your age." And when it got to me, I said, I'm 51, and first of all, I've lived in Asia for 17 years, and I really appreciate their view on age, which is that they value aging, actually, not because it makes you wiser, but because you have more experience, and there's a lot to be said for experience. And I also said, I am super happy to be 51 because my life has gotten so much better. And I looked around at them, and they were all these 20 somethings looking at me like, really? I was like, yeah, guys, don't believe the hype. It definitely gets better as you get older. And one of them was like, that's good to know. And I was like, oh, yeah. For me, for sure. And so I've been thinking about that. Like, that's something that I think a lot, actually, over the years. Every year I'm like, oh, this is so much better than it used to be. And the funny thing about that is it's not in ways that you would think or that I would think. Like, for instance, this week, for the past like maybe 10 days, I've had some of the worst nightmares. I had 4 nightmares in the last 10 days. I mean, good God, that's awful. Like, two of them waking up sweating, like heart bumping, super adrenalized, like just, oh, like that's not fun. um, how is that better? Well, it's better in this way because I was thinking it's better in that I'm less scared. And then I thought, yeah, this week, hello, Elena, you're not less scared. What is that? And I realized, okay, it's actually, I'm even more afraid now. But I understand where it's coming from, what to do about it, and how to protect my physical self from it. And that's huge because I don't need to self soothe or run away from it anymore. And that makes all the difference. So let me explain. The thing is that as I've gotten older, I've understood more and more about where is this fear coming from? Like, why am I constantly bathed in this ambient sense of terror? ah, and of course, as you know, when I was young enough, I thought it was me. I thought I was crazy. I thought, all this terror that I'm feeling must be actually from me. I must be a scary, bad person. And then as I started to get older, I thought, oh my God, it's got to be the people around me. Maybe I'm in bad places. And then finally, as I got old enough, I realized, no, it's just the human pain body. Like, we are swimming in a whole lot of fear these days. This human epic, probably for the past at least 5,000, I don't know how long, 10,000 years, we've just been bathing ourselves in fear. Wars, rape, torture, blah, blah, blah. I mean, we know. And we all feel it. It's just some of us are more sensitive to it than others. Some of us are more focused on our emotional selves and especially our extrasensory selves. And so we're feeling it more strongly than other people. And as I've gotten older and more experienced with what's going on, I understand, you know what? I'm totally in a lot of fear all the time because I'm swimming around in the human pain body, the human fear body, if you will. I can't get away from it. I'm in it. And yet, it's not actually attacking me physically. I don't, my biology, like the human part of me, that's scared that it's gonna die, like, I understand that that's actually not why I'm feeling fear. I'm not feeling this fear because I'm actually physically in danger. And so that's really helpful, right? And I also understand a lot more about which situations to avoid because they actually would put me in physical danger, right? So I know how to get out of that. And especially on the human level, I mean, that comes pretty quickly, understanding like human wise how to stay out of danger. And then as we start working with non-human energies, how to understand how to work with that too. As someone said today, we were saying like, just because you can feel something, like who's on the line, just because you are able to sense an entity, a being, an energy, doesn't mean that it's got your best interests at heart. It's doing its own thing, right? I mean, just like a forest fire, there's nothing wrong with the forest fire, except you shouldn't be in the way, right? It's not there because it's trying to help you directly. So just because you can sense something doesn't mean you should pay attention. So I understand all of that much better than I ever did. And so I know, like when I'm having these nightmares, for instance, that even though I'm waking up and my physical body feels totally in danger and I'm just bathed in terror, and it's hugely traumatic, and I deal with that for, the next several days. And I know how to work with that, and most importantly, even when I'm in it, I know first it's going to pass. Second, I'm not actually in physical mortal danger, even though it feels like it, right? So my physical body doesn't, have to be afraid. I don't have to run from that part. And I know that the more I can relax into it and not numb, not self-soothe, not run away, not project on other people, not all these things that we could do when we're in that kind of situation, I know I don't need to do any of that. I know I can relax into the fear, into the terror. And the more I can actually allow myself to feel it, the better, right? And so in this way, things are way less scary. Way less scary. Even though it's terrifying in one sense, right? But it's just emotional. It's energetic, whatever that means. But my the biology is not threatened. So this is like one of the examples. I'm sure there's more. But this is, like one other thing I'll say is like I understand now what questions to ask and what questions are not answerable. But that's a whole nother video. Anyway, this I feel like is really important for those of us that are like super sensitive to emotion, and we feel like we are really clear about that we're swimming in the human terror body all the time. Yay, this is helpful. It does get better because we understand what we're feeling more, or at least I do understand more when I'm feeling more. So 51, way better than 20 for me. Like, if I could have understood this at 20, wow, that would be great. And it just took a long time for me to figure it out. Hopefully, it won't take you as long. Or if it's taking even longer, I'm right here with you, man. It's not easy. All right. Take care. Hope that helps. And see you next time.